right, welcome. We are live. You should be able to see us and hear us. We're Adventures in Lollygagging, and we are playing Delta Green tonight. We're continuing with our Impossible Landscapes campaign. So if anyone was in the channel, hello, thank you for joining us. If you're watching this later on VOD or on YouTube, thank you for doing that as well. And hopefully you can catch us live at some point. We'll go through and do introductions to everybody and their characters in a minute. But I would be remiss not to plug some other things that we've got going on here on the channel and elsewhere. So that you can come find us do other stuff too. Delta Green's a great game, but it's not the only one we play. Upcoming on Monday over on the Free League Publishing channel, you can catch Adventures in Lollygagging, where we're playing Things from the Flood at 9 p.m. Central. And then also on our channel, we also play a regular Alien game. So if you're familiar with the Alien RPG, we have an ongoing campaign where we play in our own little form of the universe and kill people with xenomorphs. We do that on the alternating Mondays. Let's see what else we got going on. Melissa and I, you can catch us tomorrow morning. We'll be over playing Forbidden Lands with the Fenders of Cobalt. And Sunday night at 9 Central, you can catch me on Steam Steel Murder on Twitch as we play Shadowrun, PBTA style. So those are upcoming games that we've got going on. Let's see. If you're unfamiliar with Delta Green is basically a conspiracy slash Cthulhu, Lovecraftian, all the horrible things in the universe thing going on, but set in real time. So it's modern times. It's like X-Files, Fringe, that kind of thing. The people you see on your screen, with the exception of myself, are playing various secret agents from different walks of life, different expertise, as they investigate a very specific situation. But we'll get into that summary in a minute. Let's first let them go ahead and introduce themselves. So tell us who you are. Tell us what your professional background is, and tell us something strange about your character. How about that? I mean, don't keep it brief, but something strange, interesting. So we'll just go by the overlay. And Ashley, you are first. Yes, it's hidden. I'm sorry, Bert. It's hidden.
Ooh, it's super
so
hidden.
Everybody who hears this, be quiet. Shh, don't say anything.
So I'm playing Agent Chelsea Smith, but her real name is Magnolia Rhodes. She is Greek in my mind anyways. She's 30 because I can't do an accent to save my life. And she is an intelligence analysis with the ITACG, which is basically like a group that connects the FBI, CIA, and helps share information about international terrorists and stuff.
So coordinate liaison between different agencies? Okay.
Yeah. And normally, the little blurb that they gave you is the reason you got put on this team is because you're new and you have to just pay your dues and do your time. Your team, whether you with the FBI or CIA, were we need to get somebody on there, and they just kind of tossed you over there.
Right on.
So.
Okay. Cool. Long, who are you?
I'm playing Agent Alex Vessel. He's a Romanian in his mid-30s. He's been part of the hostage rescue team with the FBI for a while now.
When you say Romanian, you mean of Romanian descent, right? Isn't that what we talked about? I couldn't remember.
But he's U.S., of course.
Yeah. Okay.
And he's physically built. He's the strong type. Something strange about him is, or in his past, I guess he's been part of a con team before. Just running cons on people.
Okay. Didn't you do undercover for a long time or something?
Yeah.
Wasn't that what it was? Okay.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. And you're from Vegas?
Vegas.
Yeah. Isn't that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. And then bottom row, Derek, who are you?
So I'm playing Agent Album. His real name is Ben. I am a astrophysicist who works at the NASA Goddard Flight Center. I've been with Delta Green for a little while. They kind of put a big hole in some research that I was doing with a huge research group that ended up all mysteriously dead, essentially, most of them. And something strange about Ben is he's a huge conspiracy theorist. So he lives kind of as off the grid as possible. He lives out of a van that he's converted into basically a mobile home. It's fantastic.
I forgot that.
Yeah.
I love that.
And it's like a old Volkswagen one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
we're the D team.
D team. Okay, that's fine. Okay. And then finally, Melissa, who are you?
So I am playing Agent Fawn. Her real name is Lana Bogdan. She is actually an archaeologist, so she works for the National Park Service. And I did some Googling of things, and so I think she's um, part of the kind of right around this time there was a new American Battlefield Protection Program. So I decided that she's kind of new in with that. I did not do my archaeology searching for schools and whatnot in incognito mode. So now Google's giving me all of these like archaeology stories now. So expanding my worldview a little bit.
I want you to get another master's.
Exactly. And I don't really know if there's anything like weird about her, but that's kind of a quirky thing that we didn't get out of the first episode is kind of what she does with her archaeology time.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, Melissa and I were pretty when we were going through like the extended jobs that are available in the complex, the PDF for Delta Green. Like, there's just so many things. We're like, oh, who knew that you could do this with archaeology? How fascinating! That was wonderful. Okay, so let's. So I'll give like a basic overview of the Operation Alice, and then you all can kind of fill in what you all experienced last time. So. You all were activated in your various ways and sent to New York, specifically to Washington Square Park, New York. It is August 1995, and you were sent to meet with your handler, an Agent Marcus, who gave you a series of things, gives you like some files, some FBI police files, kind of give you some backstory on a missing artist, 26-year-old woman by the name of Abigail Wright, who has been missing for 2 months. She went missing, or at least was reported missing, around the 4th of June, 1995, by her father. And her disappearance itself wasn't enough to alarm Delta Green. That doesn't get Delta Green out of the bed in the morning. At a certain point, her credit card was used in Patience, Maryland, and that alerted the FBI. And as the FBI started investigating further, they discovered that her apartment, Abigail Wright's apartment, was bizarre. It was absolutely crazy. There's all sorts of strange things on the walls. It was like a hoarder, kind of like a hoarder's nest filled with crazy, disparate, different items. And one of those items was apparently a symbol that was used, like an occult symbol used apparently in demonology, and that got Delta Green interested, and they wanted to investigate further. So you all, under the cover of being FBI consultants, are headed, or have already gotten there, to the home of Abigail Wright to investigate further, to specifically see whether or not the unnatural is involved in the disappearance of this woman. So you're investigating a couple different things: the location, the disappearance itself, and whatever the heck is in her room. Is your job is to literally catalog it. That is what the FBI cover is. Your FBI cover is to catalog this stuff, whereas your Delta Green mission is to determine whether or not the unnatural is involved, and if so, you need to prevent its spread. So what do you all remember? What are some of the more finer, that's the kind of the basics. So what do you all remember specifically about your time within the first day of your adventure? How did it go?
Do you want like a coder blurb or just like an overall summary? Because I could give you
let's
either.
Let's not make it one giant text. Let's just what's one or two things you remember from your investigation, or one or two things you remember from last session.
Long found that the Abigail's apartment had like a microphone facing towards the door, and we followed that, and we kept hearing like ghost footsteps. That kind of like led us up to the 3rd floor that we found out was just all empty apartments, and there was nobody up there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that was Agent Vessel and Agent Chelsea, the two of you, because you arrived at the apartment called the McAllister Building. It was right around sunset. You had stopped to get some food. You brought pizza to this place apparently, and the two of you started like wandering around as you found this like microphone. So it looked like somebody had been tapping this artist's apartment, and when you tracked the wire, you saw that it led to a neighbor's apartment, a neighbor by the name of T. Manuel. You would know from the records it's Thomas Manuel, who is also a young artist. This whole entire building, the McAllister Building, is a co-op of artists. There's a handful of people who live here, and a bunch of empty apartments as well. So that's one thing you learned. And as you were wandering around, you kept hearing these noises of like something bouncing down the hall and something chasing after it. But every time you went up one floor, you couldn't find it. And even when you got to the roof, you still couldn't find it.
I did take out my recorder and recorded some of that. So
Yeah. What other weird things do we remember? Oh, thank you, Barkrocks. Appreciate that.
Thanks for the sub. When we pulled something off the wall, we possibly loosed something into this world.
So
Maybe.
So what specific? So we should probably just say what happened. So you all were, as you were kind of starting to document the different things that were in the apartment, you specifically found an item. I found like a seal.
I like removed a seal.
It was on a piece of paper. I'm putting it on the screen now so folks can see it. So you found this little piece of paper that was taped or glued to the wall in some place. And as you peeled it off and as you looked at it, both Chelsea and Fawn recognized this as a symbol used in sort of occult demonology, and specifically, you were able to get the name of it as well, Fawn. And while this was happening, some kind of weird circumstance happened outside, where like a horn was being honked on, like crazy. When you looked out, you saw a man with a snake around his neck. This old, like hobbling man was wandering across the street. When you went outside to see if you can find him, he was gone. Taxi was gone. Horn was gone. All that was missing. What else do we remember? What else do we recall?
I remember we went down into the basement and we saw the painting of a creepy clown, which we had seen while we were getting briefed on the mission. One of the
Only Fawn has seen that. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So during your meeting with your handler in Washington Square Park, Fawn and Fawn alone saw a small clown in a kind of a costume filled with geometric shapes and had like almost like a kite or a paper dragon that was trailing them, and it was kind of dancing around and moving in very precise movements to a song that was being played by an old school record player. But when Fawn tried to get closer, the crowd that was surrounding it kind of broke up and she lost track of the clown. As you all went down into the basement, like Derek was saying, you found this small workroom in the basement where there was a handful of paintings, and you were going through them. These were paintings all presumably by Thomas Manuel, and they all had different names, and one of them was the dancing clown. And that's what we'll go ahead and just pick up right there, right? Because that's where we left off. So we'll go ahead and pick up. So right now it's roughly 10 o'clock at night, we'll say, and you are in the basement of the McAllister Building, New York. All four of you are there. Remember that there's a series of storage rooms. This one has been kind of converted, it looks like, into a workroom. There was also 3 pails of linseed oil that were right in the middle of the room and the floor. There was a little sign there that saying somebody was coming to pick it up later. And then you have 4 different canvases. One of them was blank and says "My Great Work," and then there were 3 others. One that depicted somebody on stairs in the midst of a massive fire. Another that looked like a twin, like a person standing next to a mirror in a hospital gown, but their reflection was like some weird, like Jekyll and Hyde type monster. And then there was this dancing cloud, and that's exactly where we cut off. So Fawn, I'm gonna go right to you, because you're the only one who saw what happened, and you see this painting. So what do you want to do?
So you all will definitely see Fawn's eyes go wide, and she's going to grab the painting and she's going to get everyone's attention and point to it and say, "This is when I walked away earlier. This exact clown was in the park when we got here."
What do you mean? Like another painting of this was in the park?
No, not a painting of this. Like this clown, this little dragon thing, like all of this, like this is literally what was there. Like if I had taken a picture of that would be this painting. That's just weird.
Was it Thomas just dressed up? Is this like a self-portrait?
I don't think we know anything about Thomas.
Oh, I thought we said he was the painter. Sorry.
You know he's the painter because he's got his little T. Manuel's signature in the bottom right of the canvas. but you haven't spoke to him yet. And there's no picture. There's no picture in the file either. There's a reference to his name. You saw his name on the mailbox. You know he's on the ground floor, the same floor as Abigail Wright, and both Chelsea and Vessel know that there is a wire that was running underneath the hallway carpet connecting a microphone in Abigail Wright's room to Thomas Manuel's apartment.
Now that you mention it, can I look around this basement for another microphone or wire of some kind?
Sure. What's your search at? You got your search. Was it 40?
I believe so. Yeah, it's 40.
Yeah. There's no one else down here. There's really just the one staircase that goes up to the side. Like it's right off to the side of the main stairs that go into the building. There's only like kind of street access. This doesn't connect to the ground floor above. So you look around and you're looking for other signs of like wires, of like recording equipment. You don't find any. You take a couple minutes. It's a lot of, most everything here is kind of your mundane stuff that you would find in the store, in the storage area, like old blankets and furniture and stuff like that.
Okay.
Nothing out of the ordinary.
Yeah, so then I guess I would turn to Agent Fawn and say, well, Fawn and Agent Chelsea, and say, well, it seems like Thomas is needing to be talked with for more reason than one. We've got the bugging, now we have this painting that seems to line up with something that Agent Fawn saw. So seems like that should be our first start in the morning. Also, and he points to all the linseed oil, this is a fire hazard. If somebody wanted to destroy evidence or potentially burn the building down, all you got to do is have an open flame near this. And you said that there was a sign saying it was going to be picked up, the linseed oil?
Yeah, there's a little, it's not a sign so much as it's like a post-it note. It just says, for Sammy, SAMI, pickup. So for Sammy, pickup.
It doesn't have like a date or a time or anything?
No, it doesn't. Just handwritten.
What are the uses for this oil?
Painters use it. I think it helps make paint more usable or viable, but it's also a flammable substance.
I like how you describe that for painting.
They mix it with their paint to make it like glossier, or it makes it go further or something like that.
Yeah, and you can use it to like polish and stuff like that, and kind of make stuff more vibrant and everything. But yeah.
Oh, like a varnish, basically.
That's a good
sort of, more or less. But yeah, it's but you're right. It is flammable.
I recommend that we take this stuff out of here in case someone wants to use this for incendiary purposes, but I'll leave it up to a group vote.
You see, Kieran.
What? Oh, I'm sorry.
He's like Ashley would.
Okay.
Incite chaos.
Thank you for the bits, Captain Karen. Okay, so we'll do this. So the way we're gonna do bits, if people want to donate bits, you're more than welcome to. We'll do. I might even have like a command for it. But basically, we'll make it like you get a reroll if you want within a scene. You only get to do it once within a scene. So if you're not going to be able to get to use like 4 or 5 different rerolls while within one scene. So we're going to limit it like that. But also, if you want to do wrinkles, we'll definitely do wrinkles. So
like 500,
500 to kill you all, 300 to save you. Very nice.
I love it.
I like it.
Making it
Excellent.
Spicy.
Okay, so I have a complication in my pocket that I can pull out when I feel it's relevant, and you all have rerolls. Each of you has a reroll that you can pull out at some point.
Sweet.
All right. So
with the painting, I wanted to look kind of in the background of the painting, like because I want to see like, is the painting that maybe this clown is always in the same place in the park all the time, and so this is just like I saw the same thing that someone else saw, or is it like just the clown and there isn't really like a background behind it in the painting?
Okay, yeah. So looking at the painting itself, it's a stage that the clown is on. You don't see any signs to suggest that this is in the park. Like you don't see any vegetation. You don't really see a crowd as much as you see the stage, you see the clown, you see the paper dragon, that kind of thing. But you don't see anything else besides that. It does undoubtedly remind you quite heavily of the clown itself. It's got the same kind of geometric shapes that are kind of colored on the outfit, and it has the same kind of paper dragon. And you remember like that paper dragon movement at like, again, very precise, very very rehearsed.
Okay. And so I'll kind of say to the rest of the group that I'm definitely going to want to chat with some folks, see if, this clown is, frequently in, kind of out in the park area, if this is something that, people in this area see often, or if this is a clue to something that we were looking at.
Okay. I mean, you're not a native New Yorker, right? You wouldn't.
No.
Okay. So yeah, you wouldn't know that offhand.
Yeah. Letting everybody know that's something that I will be looking into.
Okay. Fair enough. What else do you guys want to do?
Should we try and bug his apartment before we leave?
Bug
you have
whose
tools for that?
apartment?
It's the guy.
Well,
Yeah,
Wouldn't he be asleep? It's like midnight.
but we're gonna go away, and what if he's active at night, or whatever? I have an extra tape recorder that I would just like to hide, maybe in a lamp fixture, nearest to his apartment.
Okay. I mean, you have no idea whether he's home or not. So
That's true.
yeah. You guys are still in the basement, so if you want to go do that, you'd have to go back inside the main building, and you know where his apartment is. Okay, so yeah,
I'll go
Chelsea,
do that.
Is anybody else going with her?
I
That's a
would
no.
probably be
You
the
go
last
by
one to
yourself.
leave
Nope,
the
that
basement.
sounds like I'm
if
going
we're all
back
leaving
myself.
the basement, I'll go, but I'll be the
Okay.
last one to leave.
Okay, so Chelsea, you go by yourself.
Yeah.
Do you knock on the door, or do you what do you do?
Oh, I have the keys, so I just go in.
No, you go into the apartment building. You don't have keys to his apartment.
No, but I want to leave it in the hallway. I'm not gonna try and enter his
sure.
apartment.
Okay, yeah.
Something like wall sconce or something.
Yeah,
Go
that's what I'm thinking,
ahead.
a wall sconce nearest.
Okay. You can do. Let's see. Checking your skills really fast. You can do if you're trying to place it in a very specific way that he's not gonna see it or anything like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and roll. Let's see. Sorry, I'm still getting used to the skills for Delta Green.
I have 11 in stealth, but I was thinking maybe criminology.
I'm cool with stealth.
But
I think stealth makes sense. It's concealing something, so you're trying to
Okay.
conceal it in such a way that works. Yeah, just do a roll.
pray for me.
It's just a stealth. It's not the end of the world. Okay, that's a fail.
That's a fail. So I
Uh,
gotta check mark it.
Okay.
Boom.
All right. You do have a reroll if you wanted to burn it now. Each one of you gets a reroll because of Captain Carrion, but that's it.
I'm scared.
You're done
I'm
after
gonna
that.
save it.
All right. Okay. So you set it up, but you don't. I mean, you're gonna set it up in a way that you think it isn't noticeable. You're gonna find, like you said, a sconce and try to hide it behind it in hope that it doesn't necessarily show. And I will note that roll for later.
Okay.
For whenever we need it.
So then, Album and Vessel, what are you guys doing? I know that right now Fawn is kind of still in the basement, but what are the two of you doing while Chelsea goes upstairs?
Yeah, can I take a closer look at this painting of this fire that's going on?
Sure. Okay. What are you looking for?
Is it a recognizable setting, or is it the person?
You notice it doesn't look like a recognizable setting. It's a person. They're fairly young. They're thin, and they also have thinning blonde hair. I'm sorry. That's the twin. That's the other one. It's not. It's most certainly not a recognizable person. The face is very, very white, absurdly white. It's almost spectre-y, ghostly type looking. They are clothed, however, and the other thing you notice is that the rug itself kind of stands out because everything else around in the painting is emblazoned. It's just fire, roaring fire on the walls and the ceilings of this staircase going up. But the rug stands out because it's just this strange aquamarine kind of blue-green color that's just it just seems foreign based upon the color scheme of the picture.
You say it's recognizable. Have we seen it Anywhere in this apartment?
No, not recognizable in the sense of like you've seen it. More it stands out. It's just noticeable. And no, you actually haven't seen it. Most of the hallway carpeting that you've seen thus far has been kind of like a burgundy color.
Yes.
Agent Albans just kind of mumble under his breath, but loud enough for Vessel to hear, like, it's a bad omen to have a painting of fire with all this flammable stuff nearby.
Kind of with you. I don't want this place catching fire and losing the evidence. So I'll work with them. Maybe get this out of here.
Yeah, I think that's what, even though I guess it's technically like tampering with evidence, maybe, like, I guess Agent Alban would start moving these buckets of linseed oil and trying to dispose of them or
Sure.
get them away from the building.
Easy enough to do. Upstairs, ground floor. Okay, so first floor, ground floor, same thing. Ground floor. As you're setting up the recording device, Chelsea, you hear the sound in the same hallway as you. It's this long hallway that goes right out to the front door where the mailboxes are. You see this long hallway, and you hear the sound of a door opening up. And you turn to look, and you can see that kind of next to Abigail Wright's apartment, not necessarily immediately next to Thomas Manuel's apartment, you can see a door has opened up, and you don't really, it's kind of an odd angle for you. You can't see it entirely, but you see a box just suddenly appear. And it's got these two long arms, just, looks like a kind of dark-skinned, almost like Burns, and it kind of just sets the box down right in the middle of the hallway, right within your view. And then you hear the door close. And then right in the middle of the hallway from you, just a few feet down from you, maybe 15 feet or so, a box has just appeared.
Okay. I would like to do two things.
Okay.
I would like to page Agent Vessel.
Do you have a phone? I don't think you have a phone.
I have a pager,
Yeah,
at least in my head.
but you have a phone to page him.
You need like a.
You
payphone
young
or
people
something.
don't realize how this
I don't know
system
how they
works.
work. I don't.
Pagers give you a number, okay?
Yes.
And then a phone calls them,
Oh no.
and they leave another
Okay.
phone. So,
Okay.
yeah.
I thought I'm treating it
It's all
like
good.
text messages, like beep beep.
Three of these
911.
players were born in like the late 90s.
I was born in '92. Okay.
Oh, okay. Sorry, 92. There you go. So it's okay. It's okay. So no, that will not be
That
happening.
doesn't work.
That's
Damn
not gonna
it.
happen. What is the other thing you would like to do, however?
I want to go up to the box.
Okay. So you walk up to the box. Sorry, that
I
was
am
just
a
really
whippersnapper.
fun. Young whippersnappers. They just don't know. Okay. Give me a second. Let me pull up my details here.
I'm scared.
Why? It's just a friendly
weird
game of cops
Burned
and robbers.
arms.
Okay. So yeah, you get up to it and you realize it's like a wooden box just sitting there in the middle of the floor.
Mm-hmm.
There's a door right next to it. Yeah, you can see, just taking a look at it, you can see that there's printing on the side of the box that reads DeCraig Corp Limited, Kemper and White Horse Street, Chicago, Illinois.
Okay. Can I open the door?
Yeah, you open the door, and it looks to be just some kind of storage closet. Go ahead and roll a sanity.
Okay. Yep. Failure 89.
Okay, take 1 point of sanity damage from the unnatural. As you were 100% certain you saw like these long,
Creepy arms.
No, they weren't. They're just normal arms. They're just long arms. That's all, and just a kind of dark skin, maybe African American man, little burn scars, stuff like that. Just reached out from the closet and set this on the ground. And when you open up the door, it's a closet, and it's an empty closet. You can see the back of it. You kind of press along the sides and the back, and it's firm.
With the sanity damage, I'll probably continue to look to see if there's maybe like ceiling access.
Yeah.
Or
Roll a search.
success 26.
Yeah, you spend a couple minutes and you kind of bang against certain tiles. Like there's like a little bit of give on the ceiling tile, but no, you're 100% certain that there's been there's no way in or out of this. Like there's not even
Okay.
there's not even an air conditioning vent in here.
Kind of spooked then, she'll get the box and I'll head out to the basement to meet up with them.
Okay, you pick up the box and you carry it outside. Downstairs in the basement, what are the three of you doing?
I'm dumping linseed oil.
Okay, so you're one by one just taking the linseed oil outside and dumping it.
We might need that to burn this place down, but if you did it, you did it.
There's other ways to burn it down.
So one by one, you take the pail out. You take a pail out. They're not actually that heavy. You could probably carry two at once. And you dump it out into the middle of the street. Because that's all there really is out here. There's that and a sidewalk. And so you
There's no storm drain.
Not real. Yeah, I guess you could dump it down into the sewer. I'm not sure that's better. But yeah, okay.
We're not EPA friendly.
It's fine. So yeah, you just dump it all out. No problem. And then Fawn and Vessel, what are you doing?
Just wondering if there's anything else I can get. I do have art painting as one of my skills. I only have a 20 in it.
Yeah.
So just if there's anything that I can get from that, looking at any of the paintings.
It definitely looks like the three. So the three paintings that because remember, there's 4 canvases. One is completely blank, and it just says it's like titled "My Great Work" along like the back wooden frame of the canvas because it's like stretched canvas over top of like a wooden frame. There's nothing on it. It's completely blank. And then the other 3 are painted, and they all seem to kind of have the same stroke. So they're all by the same painter, which lines up. They all seem to have the same name. That's it.
Okay. I will. I know, Agent. You were also kind of looking at the paintings, so we'll just kind of trade off and just,
That's
I'll
fine.
just share that information.
In Vessel, is there anything
I'm
else
good.
that you wanted to do?
No, there's nothing else in here, I think.
Okay, so then one by one, all of you make it back out onto the streets. You have just finished dumping the last of the buckets of linseed oil down the storm drain on the side of the road. The two of you have finished looking through the paintings as best you can. You leave them behind. You come back out of the basement. And as the three of you reconvene at the base of the steps back into the brownstone that is the McAllister building, you see Agent Chelsea emerge from it carrying a wooden box and her... I would say a little bit of nerves on her face, maybe showing it the tiniest bit, but she's there as she brings it out. And all of you are together again.
The weird, someone gave this to me from a closet.
I'm sorry.
I couldn't find any hatch doors, but it's been, maybe we should go to sleep. We'll open this in the morning. Should we open it now in the morning?
What? Why are you taking strange boxes with you? Have you never seen what bomb squads deal with?
We're investigating, so, this seems pertinent. Kind of weird.
Any ticking coming from the box?
No.
And what was on the side of the box again?
Yeah, side of the box has like a company name, it looks like. It says DeCraig Corp Limited, Kemper and Whitehorse Street, Chicago, Illinois.
Do we recognize that from any of our various backgrounds?
Didn't come up at all in any of the files that you've received from the NYPD or the FBI.
Well, what's in the box then?
You want to open it
I
up
don't-
here?
No.
Okay.
Let's go back to our hotel.
Okay.
Specifically Alex's room.
Okay.
I don't want to open it in my room.
Where would Alex have? I mean, you guys all made your own arrangements. So, Alex, what kind of hotel/motel would Alex Vessel have booked a room in?
I've got a pretty shitty motel that no one takes
Okay.
a second look to.
I like it. So it's like some crappy. It's not even a Motel 6. It doesn't even have a name. It just says motel on the side. They probably rent the rooms by the hour. When the 4 of you walk in, you can see that the manager is like behind like a metal fence and you can see there's a handful of people smoking cigarettes and drinking from crumpled brown bags in the middle of the kind of waiting area. There's the sound of like really bad like television coming from behind. It's probably like an episode of Seinfeld or something, and which isn't bad television, I'm sorry. But yeah, you lead all of you. Do all of you go? I know that at the very least Chelsea and Vessel are there, but Fawn and Album, do you go as well?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not excited about opening a strange package, but I'm also curious.
Okay. So you are in this crappy little motel. He lets you into the room. It smells vaguely of sweat, and you can see that the curtains have been drawn a bit. You flip a light on, it flickers a little bit. You look up at the light. There's this dome light. There's these what look like dead roaches in the middle of the dome that you can see the silhouette, the shade of. Would you have anything else laying about the room there? Their Vessel?
Maybe just some clothes.
Some clothes. Okay. All right. You're pretty. I
How
don't
do
know
you
why you
sleep in this shithole, Vessel?
I've slept
Cover
worse.
your camera like with your thumb and then like bring it back towards your face.
Yeah, you keep going out of focus for me.
It's trying to focus on the entity behind him.
Is that what it is?
The
Or I
ghost.
usually just lean forward and it catches me when I do that. Whenever I go out of focus.
Oh, it's got him. He's gone. Oh, he's back.
Hey,
Oh wow!
hey, buddy. I don't
Look at
lean
that
that
close
forward,
view.
but
Is
whatever.
it working?
Whatever.
There you go.
That's about good right there. My hand like
That's
that.
better,
Look at
yeah.
that face. Okay. So yeah, some clothes are laid out, etc. You can see that there's probably a couple different bags of equipment that you brought along with you, whatever kind of standard equipment you would bring on any kind of operation. You set whoever's carrying the box sets it down on one of the two beds in here because it's one of those double beds, and there's some horrible floral pattern with series of cigarette stains. The carpet is like super hard, and it's got like like blackened gum spots here and there.
Oh,
It's really not a very good place.
is it like that dark brown carpet?
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's like a bright green carpet.
Oh,
It's just awful. But yeah, you start opening it up, and when you do, you notice a few things. You notice that on top there is a book, and it's fairly old looking. It's got kind of a worn covering to it. It's Latin. And there's also a dozen underneath it. There's about a dozen different glass vials. And beneath that, there's a crumpled silver robe that seems to be made of plastic.
Fawn is going to
I-
reach over and say, "Do you mind?" and try to take the book.
Yeah, go for it.
are the vials labeled at all?
Don't appear to be.
Agent Album will put on some of the latex gloves that we got from that box in Abigail's apartment, and he'll start picking up the vials to inspect them, since he knows a bit of chemistry in case there's liquids in them.
Okay. You pick them up and you take a close look, and you can tell that they're plants. Like they're little pods or seeds, something like that. Doesn't look like a specific liquid, but it's pods of something.
He'll pass them over to Agent Chelsea and say, "Do you know botany? I don't."
Considering I'm a computer science major, not particularly.
Yeah.
What even could I roll to see if I recognize anything? Could I do like a search?
Search is just finding something that's hidden, and there's really nothing. Like it's pretty clear. You empty the box out. It's there.
I'll call over to Agent Fawn and say, "Hey, Agent Fawn,
When did the
on top
internet
of
become
archaeology, do you know botany?"
Windows 95 did come out in 1995, and the internet did exist. Yes, it does take a
Okay,
little time,
but like,
and you have
how
to have a
popular
computer.
at home?
Google was still in the Harvard
You have
library.
you
at the
can you
time.
can do internet searches. Yes, you could do internet searches, assuming you
Well,
have
I
a computer.
Probably
which-
from
Yeah,
a library.
from
or
a
That's what I'm
computer.
thinking.
Cafe.
Like, do I need to go to like a cafe, library? Okay.
something like
Oh,
that.
an internet cafe. There we go.
You guys are so young. You're pissing me off right now.
Yeah, I told you this was going to be interesting, and you did this to yourself.
I would say
So
though,
in terms of
go ahead.
like, can I do like survival for like nature stuff? Would that work?
Sure. Go.
Like
That's
I
fine.
don't know much.
Ideally, a science, biology, or something like that would probably be what I would want. But you can go ahead and survive.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, and I've just got a 30, so it makes sense that it's not going to be a super great chance, but I'll give it a whirl. Ooh, I had a 29. I needed a 30.
You go through your brain, kind of racking your brain about different things that this might be.
I work for the Park Service. I pick some stuff up
For
along
sure,
the way.
no problem. And in all of your time, it looks like it doesn't look out of the ordinary. Like it doesn't, it could be any of probably 5 or 6 different types of plants, but it doesn't quite fit. They're tiny golden seeds. I don't know, there's like a kind of a sort of a flickering quality to them a little bit. They kind of look a little strange. But you don't really know what to compare them to. Meaning, like, you're confident, like, this is not a plant that you have seen, like, indigenous to any of the areas that you've explored. This looks out of the ordinary. This looks foreign. This is not something that you would suspect to find in a random brownstone building in the middle of New York City.
And the seeds aren't in dirt or anything. It's just the seed.
Yeah, it's just like they're glass vials, and the pods are specifically inside of them.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, guys. I haven't come across this in any of the parks that I've been working at.
Can I try and read the book?
What languages do you have?
Latin, French, and Greek.
Okay, perfect. Latin's great.
Oh, perfect. You can take the book then.
Okay,
I
so
didn't realize you had Latin.
It's quite a large book, and you would imagine that this is probably going to take you some time to dig through. And by that, I mean it's an enormous tome, and it would probably take you weeks to get through in full. To really study this, but you can at the very least get the kind of the name of it, and you can tell it's
like maybe the table of contents if there is one.
You're going to need to dig a little further into it, but I will say that you can get a few things from this one. It seems to be a book called the Hygromantia, and as you kind of flip carefully through the pages, you can see that there are various seals as you flip through, meaning like little symbols and images and such as you start flipping through them. And you also note that there are a variety of like annotations in here that are written in English throughout the book.
I would look for the seal that we found in the apartment and see if there's any annotations next to that.
Okay. Okay. You flip through it, and no, there's nothing that really stands out for that particular. But you do find that entry, I will say. Like, you absolutely find the entry of that image, but you don't see any specific note next to it.
I would probably keep flipping next to pages next to it and see if there's anything interesting, like a big note.
You flip through it, and I would say like the closest note that you get, which seems to be on kind of like an intermediary page, is kind of like a transition from like one seal to another. It's quote, all drawn in, closing in a dance, like a loop, leading to the masquerade.
What was that again?
All drawn in, closing in a dance, like a loop, leading to the masquerade.
Okay. I'm going to show this to Agent Fawn because she recognized like more details about the seal than I did at the apartment, and see if she can get anything else with it.
What are both of yours forensics at?
My forensic is 0 for some.
0.
Okay. All right.
I have criminology.
You'd have difficulty.
Cold.
Criminology wouldn't apply here.
I've got forensics of 40, if that helps.
Yes, it does. So if you call over, so if you're showing it to other people, you're digging through it. You would know, like you would be able to kind of just tell by looking at its age. Like you would kind of be able to date as you're flipping through, looking at the pages, age and album, that this is likely created many years ago, like hundreds and hundreds of years ago. You would probably peg it around 15th century. And if not for the really ridiculously blue ink margin notes, would probably be worth a decent amount for collectors.
So this book's like 500 years old then.
Thereabouts.
It's a really old book. Is there anything that stands... Oh, I guess no, their occult would be higher than mine. Never mind.
There's that wrinkly rope you said that was in there. I'll
Yeah.
check that out.
Yeah. So you go ahead while the three of them are looking at it. You take out the silver robe and unfurl it, unfold it, and it's large enough to sort of fit you. But it's silver. It's got this kind of plastic quality here and there, but at the same time, it still has some give to it. You look for pockets on the inner lining, some symbols. Nothing really seems to show up on it. It's just a silver robe.
If I put it on, does it do anything?
Oh my God, you put it on. No, you're fine. You put it on. You put it on, and you can kind of, it's a little stiff at the shoulders and a little tight for you since this is a big, strong fella. But no, it's fine. Nothing seems to happen.
Can I recognize it from anywhere?
Maybe
Like, is it like a familiar like cult or something, or?
yeah. I mean, maybe on a rack at a Target or something. No, nothing in particular.
So there's no...
Don't you mean like a Mervyn's or something?
Target existed in 1995, Ashley.
I know it did, but I shopped in Mervyn's all the time.
When you were 3 years old? Never mind. We're getting off.
When I was 7.
Jay
Shut
Butler
up, Jeff.
You were 3 in 1995. We talk about whatever. No, you don't recognize it though. Doesn't have any specific significance to you.
Okay.
Does the book have any indication in it of like authorship or location or anything like that?
Other than what was sort of identified in terms of the age of it, no, there's no specific author or anything like that. No.
Okay.
But again, like you could dig through. I mean, it would take time because these are huge pages, several of them written out in Latin. It would take a while to dig through, but certainly something that you could. But it would take a little while to study.
The annotations, were those also written in Latin in the blue ink?
Yeah, looks like normal.
Do any of maybe I missed this? Did any of them say anything like that stuck out to us in our investigation?
I gave her one, but it's going to take time. Again, like this is again, reading a very big book and going through pages and pages of very careful stuff. This isn't something that you can instantaneously do. It's also around 11 o'clock at night. So if you wanted to do it now, you totally could. You could give up your sleep for the night, study it for a little bit, get something out of it. But other than that, like it will take you time to dig through it. You see, back in the old days when we wanted to do research and we had to open up books and read them, and it took a while.
What are
Can't
the effects of
control
not
F
sleeping
your
again?
Of like sleeplessness.
Yeah.
I have to pull it up. I don't remember off the top of my head, but I can look it up for you. It's like if
Agent Fawn's gonna go to sleep soon.
Yeah. Same.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been a long day, guys, and we have another long day tomorrow. So get out of here.
Okay. No,
We've
you're
been kicked
Dewey
out.
Decimal. I totally agree with that, Bert. Dewey Decimal. Okay. So where does the box stay? Where does the stuff stay?
Chelsea, you found it. You can take it.
I second that.
Okay.
Hi. Okay.
So where are you all staying? Do y'all get an actual room
I'm
here?
sleeping in my van.
Okay, so you find your van, which is parked somewhere nearby. No problem. Okay, I love that. Fawn and Chelsea, do you have rooms booked somewhere?
So Chelsea didn't like pre-book a room.
Okay.
So she's gonna have to go find some place to pick one up.
Yeah, it's
And
not
she'll
hard.
probably offer Fawn if she doesn't already have one to like share a room.
And I would have gotten a room somewhere close to Chinatown. So I'll offer that I got a double if you don't have a reservation, if you want to
Thank you. I'll split the bill with you.
split the cost. That always looks good for the bosses when they've got fewer travel expenses.
Mm-hmm. So yeah,
I'm just doing a quick look. That's about almost an hour away.
Okay. I have no concept.
You guys
of
are oh, I'm sorry, that's
what
Greenwich,
this is.
Connecticut. Sorry. Hang on. Let me see. Because you guys are in Greenwich Village. Just double checking really quick. Nah, it's about 20 minutes away. You're fine.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Sorry. I did Greenwich and I realized I did Greenwich, Connecticut in my quick little Google search. The things that happen. Just wait, 1995. It's so much easier to find information later in life. Okay. So, yeah, you all go ahead and you turn in for the night. Get your sleep. And I assume you're getting up for a early morning.
Real quick, I
Yeah.
would say on my way, or once I get back to my van, that epoxy that I had chipped away from like the I guess crime scene, I would deliver that to my brother since he's a chemist and just ask him what information he can give me on that, and I'd tell him I understand it's going
Is
to
he
take
a
bit of
chemist in
time.
New York City?
Yeah, he's in he's in Manhattan, so I guess
Okay. Yeah, you're
however
in.
far that would be.
You're right in the area. That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's just like I've got something to drop off to you. I just need some basic information, what it's made of, drying, curing time and whatnot.
What do you tell him? Like what do you tell him? Because he's gonna be like, well, where's this from? What is this? What are you doing?
Yeah, I would just say like I'm consulting on some kind of investigation for a missing person, and this was found there, and I can't tell you anything more.
Missing persons. What are you talking about?
There's a person that went missing.
Yeah, I get the. Okay. All right. Okay, fine. Yeah. I'm sure. I'll fine. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll pay you.
I'll buy you some food in return. Thank you.
Okay. And you hear him walk away, just mumbling like, "Missing persons. What the hell do they want a missing? Why would he be that? You're an astrophysicist. What the hell are you doing?" And then that's it. Okay. Ashley, roll a luck test.
Okay. I'm scared. Oh God, where are these again? Sorry.
It's just a
50-50.
50-50. I'm not sure if it's on the character sheet or not, but you just roll a D100.
Oh, D100. Okay.
Yeah, 1 to 50 is like, yay, you passed, and 51 to 100 is, oh shit, you failed.
Oh shit, I failed.
Oh shit, you failed.
91.
Okay. All right. So you're in separate rooms, or did you?
We're in the same room.
Same room. Okay.
Can I specify something before we like go to bed? Is that when this is happening?
I don't know.
Can I like check the room first for like bugs?
For bugs?
Not like actual bugs, but like listening equipment or
Yeah, you go search of 40. You're good. You go through, you check the obvious areas. You don't find anything.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Early in the morning. You wake up. It's dark still. You can see the red lettering of the alarm clock. You hear, like, next to you, the sounds of Fawn breathing in and out. Curtains are drawn. It's very dark in here. And you wake up not from her breathing, which is very faint, but instead from a different sound. You thought for a second it was a TV. You just hear the sudden burst of applause. Just a strange, just sudden burst of applause. Just.
Okay. I won't necessarily sit up just yet. I'll continue listening to see if I hear anything else.
Just it fades out. Just a little quick. Everyone kind of applauds really fast, and then it just sort of fades out shortly thereafter.
Okay. So I imagine the light that I have, like on my side of the bed, is really bright. So I won't turn that on, but I'll get up and I'll feel my way to flip the bathroom light on,
Okay.
and then kind of like observe the room without waking up Fawn.
You flip the bathroom light on. You look around, and everything's where you left it. Change of clothes, suitcase, box of items, etc. All of it's where you left it. And it's just
Front
a quiet
door's
room.
locked.
Front door's locked. Chains on it. Everything.
I'd say that Agent Chelsea's still a little stressed out from getting how she received the box. So she'll probably like take out her recorder and she'll start, she'll go sit in the bathroom and just start doing her own audio recordings of everything that she remembered from the night.
Okay.
Do you have another recorder after you left the one recorder in the
Yeah, I
hallway
had
of
two.
the other? Oh, you're prepared.
Okay.
Yeah, how else are you going to record ghosts?
Okay. Roll a luck test to see if you actually have to.
Okay. 73. I guess not.
You look around. You don't find. I guess you probably forgot to pack the second one.
Like, damn, I left that at home.
Yeah. You realize
then,
you're just talking into an electric toothbrush. Like, oh, that's not right.
Then I guess I'll just take notes.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay, and nothing happens, and the rest of the night is so you kind of wake up a little early. Do you go back to sleep at some point?
I'll probably do that for like an hour and then go back to sleep.
Okay. You go back, sleep, wake up. Everything's fine. Did you guys have a plan on where you were meeting in the morning?
Yeah, it's some bagel shop down the street.
You do know that there was a place there was like a delicatessen. Hang on, let me look to see I think I have a name for it.
One of the places we were recommended.
Yeah, there's no, you did pass by on your way when you were driving away. You do recognize that there's a couple different local businesses around the area that as you're when you were peeling about, there's I'm trying to find their names. But you saw there's like a laundromat, there was a deli of some kind. There was Manny's Delicatessen. There's a laundry service, Garrett's Laundry, and then there was Destroyer Video. Because in the old days, guys, we rented videos.
Yeah, we had.
Is that what that? Yeah, I was going to say, is that what that Blockbuster thing was?
We witnessed its death.
If I haven't said I hate you recently, it's not because I don't. It's just because I've forgotten.
So Manny's Delicatessen
Yeah.
is where we meet for breakfast.
Yeah.
So you meet up at Manny's Delicatessen. You're all there, talking. What's the game plan for today?
I order some Caprese.
Okay. What's the game plan for your investigation today into whether or not the unnatural is unknowingly spreading into your world? I don't know, but I gotta hit this Caprese sandwich.
We're headed back to the apartment, see if we can talk to the neighbor's team manual at all.
Yeah, and I would probably discuss with Agent Fawn about how potentially breaking a seal in the apartment and researching that more after speaking to T. Manuel.
I do want to point out that you literally just pulled a piece of paper off the wall. Like it was on the window, and you just kind of ripped it off the epoxy.
Okay. So then, I don't. Yeah, she
Just
probably
like
wouldn't think that's
Torn
weird.
brown piece of paper.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So it sounds like Vessel wants to go speak to some of the other tenants. What are the three of you thinking about doing today? Remember that in order to be able to dig through her stuff, Abigail Wright's stuff, you have to spend hours and hours in the apartment. So if you do that, you get 2 search rolls per day to kind of try to dig through and find some clues. But there's other things you could do as well. So it's just kind of up to you guys.
Yeah. So Agent Alvin just kind of, as he's eating his Caprese sandwich, is just to say like, I'm not a people person. I'll continue going through Abigail's apartment, breaking down what I can, finding what I can.
Okay.
That's more suited to my talents.
Fair enough. Fawn
And
and Chelsea.
Fawn wanted to do a half and half. She wanted to look at the art place that had come up of where she had done a show fairly recently.
Okay.
And then spend the second half of the day back at the apartment.
Okay. And then finally, Chelsea, what's the first half of the day looking like for you? You've got
I'll go with Agent Vessel, and then After that, I want to spend some time reading the book.
Okay. So you have your breakfast. You kind of share do you share your plans with each other? Like what you're doing? Are you guys keeping each other on the same page, or are you kind of holding stuff a little bit? Okay.
I'll let them know what I'm doing.
I just wanted to make sure. Didn't want to presume. Okay. So all of you kind of spread out, kind of go to your different places. It's going to be a drive to get to the gallery. It's not that far away to get to Mercury was the name of the gallery. It's over on Franklin Street. So you probably have a rental car and you're just going to head there by yourself, or you just might take a taxi or whatever it is you want to do. But you guys break up. You see Fawn hop into a car and she heads out. The three of you then walk down the street and you head back into the McAllister building. Agent Album takes the keys for Abigail Wright's apartment, opens up, goes inside, and then we're going to go ahead and start with the knocking on the door. Do you guys go up to the Thomas Manuel's apartment?
Yeah, I'm gonna get my recorder first to see if it's even still there.
Yeah, it's strangely not there. It's gone.
Okay.
Sorry, it was a 95. It was
Yeah, that was a bad roll.
I figured, yeah.
There's like weird shadows all over. Like
It's just lying on the middle of the floor in the hallway.
It's been stepped on.
Okay. So as you guys are kind of walking past, you do notice that like right on the staircase, there's like this horrible smell. It's like this awful smell. You look over and there's this. I don't mean to be crude, but there's just like this. Someone took a shit on the staircase.
Gross. Okay.
Why would they do this?
It smells terrible, and it's relatively recent, and it's awful. It just smells absolutely awful. This isn't even Jeff making a joke. This is.
Is there like a trail?
No, there's not a trail. God, what awful kind of.
I think
Describe the shape for me. Is this a pile or a trail? Like, what's going on here?
No, it doesn't actually. I mean, it's a lot. You don't suspect this is human. It's like an animal did this.
Oh, we think it's an animal?
Yeah, I would say just looking at it, you can kind of tell the difference. And plus the smell is just righteous. Just like, ooh.
I would maybe start looking around to see if there's like something got let in that wasn't supposed to be.
Yeah, search 40, you look around. The door was closed when you came in. This is, kind of peek down the hall, look towards the mailbox room. All that kind of, nothing. You don't see anything.
You said this was the stairwell into the...
Stairwell to go up to the second floor. Yeah, so remember there's ground floor, first floor, second floor, rooftop. So you guys are on the ground floor with Abigail Wright's apartment. So this is on the staircase that goes up to the first floor.
This building have like a janitor?
Didn't see one in the files.
Well, when we first got here, it was a wreck too, so probably
Only her
not.
apartment was a wreck.
Wasn't the foyer like covered with like loose mail?
The mail was loose. It just looked like people were just throwing their stuff on the ground. Like
Yeah.
the things weren't going in the mailbox. You go through the files and you quickly just take a quick look again back through the files. Agent Vessel, the stuff you got from the NYPD, you don't. There's nothing in terms of the files in terms of like a manager or anything like that, or janitor. Like they reference tenants. The building is owned by a company called Art Life. There's like a contact information for like a woman named Cynthia LaChance, but that's it. There's no reference to anybody who like runs the building or anything like that. So it's
Okay.
corporate owned.
We'll ignore it for now, but
Okay.
if it becomes a problem, I'll clean it up.
Okay. So you're at the door of Thomas Manuel's apartment. What do you do?
All right, Chelsea, either we just play as cops or we just act out as painters interested in art and we're looking for potential buys.
Chelsea will just kind of like this wasn't the one who was super like aggressive towards cops. That was that other lady.
Yeah, you heard from Graham Giordanda that she wasn't a very nice person towards cops, but No, that was a woman further upstairs, Michelle Vance.
Yeah. So maybe we could just straight up be, hey, we're FBI now.
You have badges.
Yeah.
And actually, the two of you really are FBI.
Yeah. So, like, I think we should just kind of go in as, like, just official business. And then if he's unresponsive, we can send Fawn an album as, like, potential, like a couple coming in to buy art.
Okay.
Sounds good. I'll get knocking.
Okay.
Or
Knock on the door.
Agent Fawn.
All right. You knock on the door. And there you go. After a few minutes, you hear kind of like a shuffling inside. And eventually the door opens, and you see a fairly young, thin Hispanic man standing in the doorway. He's got like crop black back hair, and it's kind of held back by what looks like a Walkman, like headphones. Walkmans are things we used to listen to music on, portable music devices. And he's just kind of got it there. It's dangling. It doesn't seem to be plugged into anything, but it's just sort of there. He's got like ruined paint-covered t-shirts, like paint all over his t-shirt, baggy jeans. He's got no shoes on. He looks a little disheveled, and he's kind of like wiping his eyes a little bit. And he's like, "Yeah, can I help you?"
Warren, we're investigating a case here. I'm sure you heard. Is it okay if we ask you a couple of questions?
Who are you?
We're with FBI, and we'll flash our badges.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I already talked to, the cops and everything.
Yeah, we just have some follow-up questions that, require a second set of ears and eyes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sure. What do you want to know?
So, were you quite fond with Mrs. Right, the neighbor next door, or downstairs?
Down the hall.
Down the hall. Yeah.
Down the hall. Okay.
Oh, yeah, Laura. She she was really talented. She's a very talented woman. Yeah. I mean, we get along fine. Yeah.
Laura, is that her real name?
Oh well, it's her middle name. It's what I call her. Yeah, and that checks out. You have her file. That's her middle name. Like she's super talented, free spirit. Just like kind of the life of the party.
When was the last time that you saw her?
Ooh, let's see. End of May.
Do you recall the day?
You seem like his eyes get really wide. And he's like counting in his head. 28th?
Okay. And what were you up to that day when you saw her? Was it just as you guys were leaving your apartments, or?
Oh, it's just, yeah, I mean, like, I guess it was, yeah, I guess just, yeah, yeah, just passing, I guess. Like, what is this about?
Her disappearance?
Oh, what do you mean, disappearance?
Have you seen Laura recently?
No, like she just left. That's all. I don't know why it's a big deal, She's just a free spirit,
She
Like,
left. Did she say where she was going?
well, no, nowhere. She was just that type, free spirit type, She couldn't. New York wasn't enough to contain her, She just kind of,
Gotcha. Were you guys at all involved romantically?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Why would you say that? It's no.
Just asking. And like you'll watch her just make like a little note in her notepad. What was her behavior like when Was she behaving just normally? Or up until the last day you saw her? Or was there any changes in her behavior? Did she seem skittish?
I didn't really see her that much, but yeah. I mean, everything was, yeah, she was fine, yeah. No, not skittish, no.
Okay.
Do you hear any strange noises in the apartments that you can't explain?
Strange noises? No, I'm usually, and he kind of points to the headphones and such, and yeah, neighbors upstairs, you know how it is. You guys, you having the, and he's just standing in the doorway, kind of leaning up against the frame while you guys are having this.
Yeah, and I have my notebook, and I'm going to write a note onto it and hand it to Agent Vessel, and I'm gonna ask him to while I continue to ask questions to see if he can see anything about that bugged wire, if it leads to in the room a personal computer or his Walkman or whatever, and go from there.
Sure. So while Chelsea's asking him questions, while he's distracted, maybe I'll look into his apartment, check it out a bit.
Okay, you have pretty high alertness, right?
Yeah, I think it's 80.
Okay. I'll say that you can kind of as you look past him a bit, you do notice that they're really you don't really get a sense of any art equipment. You don't see easels set up, you don't see paint anywhere. From what you can tell, it's actually a really sort of plain type of room. It almost kind of looks like a hotel room, and it's kind of level of cleanliness and sterileness. You do notice as you're just peering past, there's a lot of audio equipment in there too.
Okay. What do you do for work?
I'm a painter.
What kind of focuses do you like to paint?
Whatever comes to mind, whatever inspires me.
Are you working on anything right now?
Yeah. I've the night manager lets me work in the basement, and yeah, I'm working on my masterpiece. My great work.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
What's the name of the night manager?
Name? You know what? I don't think I've ever asked him his name.
Do you have a contact number that you reach out to him if you ever need to get a hold of him?
No, he's upstairs. So
which room?
I just go upstairs. Yeah, I don't really know. It's it's a weird name though. It's I don't know. It doesn't sound the way you spell it. You ever get one of those names? We have letters, and you're those things shouldn't be pronounced that way, and then they are. And you're anyway. Can I go?
Oh, would you mind taking me to the room that he's generally in?
I'm kind of busy right now.
Okay, well, and I'll pull out my card and give him, my card. Well, if you think of anything further, if you could reach out to me, I'd really appreciate it.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Starts going, I remember his name. Castaigne, that's what it was. That's what it was. But it was spelled weird. There's a G in it. I don't know. Anyway, bye. And he closes the door.
Gotcha. Okay. And she's just gonna look at Agent Vessel that was really weird. And
Dying for somebody to do a human roll or something.
Oh, what do you mean?
Is it an insight kind of a thing?
Yeah. Your human int score is actually yours is fairly high.
Yeah, mine's 50.
Yeah, I mean you don't get the sense that he was like dishonest about anything in particular. And yeah,
Did he seem nervous?
awkward maybe more than anything.
Okay. Man, I should have tried to persuade him to come upstairs with me. Oh well, too late. Well, we can maybe try that again later.
Okay.
Yeah, we can check out this guy if he's in the building.
Yeah, let's
He's
try
a
and find
night
him
manager.
upstairs.
He might be a night guy.
Okay.
Let's see.
So you head upstairs to start kind of looking around, and we'll shift over then to Abigail's room, where Album, you sit down, or maybe not sit down, but you kind of take stock, do this big breath as you look at the enormity of what's in here, and all of it. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, has anything changed about the room since we were last in it?
Doesn't
Like anything moved?
doesn't appear to be. Your search is what, 40?
40?
Yeah. Learn is 20. No, you don't really know. No, you don't notice anything in particular that kind of stands out to you.
Okay.
Everything kind of seems the same as it was. Yeah, go ahead and roll a search.
Success, 37.
Okay. So you start digging through, kind of put the gloves on, get out a couple different tools to kind of carve some stuff out when it needs, when it's kind of stuck to the epoxy. In other places, you're just being careful. But yeah, you start digging some things out, and you're able to carve in, and you find kind of an interesting little tidbit. But as you're peeling away what looks like these cocktail napkins that have like these weird drawings on them, you just get the strangest feeling, like you're 100% certain that somebody is looking at you right now. Roll a sanity test.
Success,
Okay.
56.
Yeah, you kind of shake it off, but yeah, it's like you're in here for a little bit by yourself, a little while they're off kind of doing their own thing. But shake it off, and you can't help but feel something's watching you. And there's a variety of like pictures and photographs and stuff that are blended in here and there to different things that are on the wall. Maybe that's all it was. But yeah, you find a series of like of cocktail napkins that I'll go ahead and show it to you if I can find it. Like a series of cocktail napkins that have like these diagrams that have been set up. There you go. Did you guys able to see that?
Yeah.
All right. Let me
Yes.
clear that away. For some reason it didn't show. Let me try it again. Hey, Tombstone, how's it going?
GBR.
There it goes. It pops up on the big screen. So yeah, you see these napkins. It's got this, like Ashley just pointed out, there's in one corner, there's like these gold initials, GBR. And they're fairly meticulous plans, and they're like odd mechanical machines of some kind, and they're drawn in ballpoint pen, you're pretty sure. And they're fairly thick. What languages do you speak?
Just English and Mandarin.
Okay. Yeah, there's a couple labels on these, but you don't really know what they mean. They're in a different language. You're not sure what language it is. One is like Liao. One is Scriba. Do you have craft mechanics at all?
Just microelectronics.
Okay, roll craft at plus 20. So just basically, just roll D100, and you need a 1 to 20.
Okie doke. $94.
Yeah, I mean they're peculiar, they're interesting, but you're not like they kind of just stood out to you for some reason. The labels are interesting. The GBR, like it just kind of stood out to you. A lot of the things you were pulling out were trash, and like who keeps cocktail napkins, and like someone put these down. Yeah. But you go ahead and you find an evidence bag and you seal them in. And as you're pulling out the evidence bag and sliding those napkins in, you just feel this strange feeling again. Like your hair just kind of sticks up in the back of your neck. Meanwhile, over on Franklin Street, your Ford Taurus rental car pulls up, and you are almost miraculously able to find like a free parking spot nearby, or maybe you have some kind of waiver for an FBI or whatever to kind of put on there, like hang from the mirror, and you're able to find the gallery pretty easily, Agent Fawn.
Mercury.
Okay, you can have a Mercury. Okay.
No, was that the name of the guy?
Oh yeah, that's the name of the guy. I thought you wanted
Yeah.
like a Mercury, like a Lincoln Mercury. But yeah, like you can tell when you get up here that it's kind of undergoing construction. When you come up for it, looks like there's workers coming in and out. There's like little stand signs out front that seem to be advertising some kind of new show that's going to be coming soon, some kind of new gallery show. But you can see that there's different equipment that's being set up outside. There's a couple folks that are kind of in kind of construction gear. You wander inside. You can see these posters, signs advertising something for like upcoming Shadows and Silhouettes show, and you can see that there's fancy modern art that is a little bit insufferable, but nonetheless like it's here. You get this waft of like incense, but it's also mixed with like sawdust and sweat as everything's in here. It doesn't look like there's air conditioning on right now. There's a handful of these fans that are blowing this way and that. There's probably at least 7-8 different workers in here. You got some carpenters, you got some electricians, tons of noise that's happening. There's a bunch of exposed wires hanging from the ceilings and the walls. You can see that they're looped around a variety of like nails and stuff to keep them from falling onto the floor themselves. In the corner, you can see that there's like this bags of plaster that have been stacked up, and apparently there's a large bucket that has spilt over. There's like a heavy-duty mixer on the ground. There's a guy on his hands and knees trying to push like the mixed plaster like back into the bucket. His hands are all covered in plaster, and there's this woman standing behind him that's kind of berating him. She's dressed in this navy blue business suit. She's got like this brown hair like done up in like a golden bun, and she's just berating the guy. She's just like, you need to be more careful. There's so many expensive items in here. What is wrong with you? This is absolutely ridiculous. Plus, you guys are behind schedule. And he's just like sitting there taking the whole time, just sweeping with his hands. It's the most disgusting display. But you would imagine she probably works here. The rest of them look to just be workers.
Okay, so I'll kind of come in and just say, terribly sorry. You seem to be very busy. Might I chat with you for a second?
What is this about?
And so I also have a badge.
Yeah, all of you have that was in the
Yep.
that was in the thing, the parcel that Marcus gave you. So those of you who aren't actually in the FBI, you have a little fake FBI badge to use.
All right. So I'm gonna pull out my fake badge and hold it up.
Well, don't tell her it's fake. What's wrong with you?
Well, no.
This is my fake FBI badge. This is
Don't look at it too closely.
FBI. Sure. It's fine. And then you hear zzz, someone like uses a chop saw to cut through like wood. Follow me. And so she leads you through like this maze of like table saws and like saw horses filled up with this, hallways, and like some people are going one way, others a couple different offices here and there, storage rooms. You go up this spiral staircase, and finally you work your way back to some kind of office, fairly colorful looking office. There's a big old bright window that looks out over Franklin Street. You don't notice any kind of like family photos or anything. It's all just like her in front of a series of like, pieces of artwork, famous pieces of art, some of which you would easily notice, others maybe not so much. But she offers you a seat. She sits down behind it. She has her own little private fan that's focused right on her and not on you. And you can just feel the New York August heat just peltering down on you. And the sounds of the work crew is a little bit more muffled, and you can hear some of the street as well. What would you like to do?
So looks like you're gearing up for a new show down there.
yeah, that tends to be what we do here. We're an art gallery. We put on shows.
Well, that's actually why I'm here. You had a show about a year ago with a young woman by the name of Abigail Wright. Does that sound familiar?
She thinks for a minute. Yeah, that does sound familiar. And she kind of shuffles through some papers and she pulls out like, she kind of flips through it. Oh yes, yeah. I remember her. Yes. Yeah, it was
Did you
about
have
a
any
year ago.
advertising for that show? Did you have a little card or anything?
I don't think we have any of that around. No, I'm sorry.
Okay. Was there a name for that show that she put on?
Ooh, it was her first show, so it was more of like a tag-on thing. It was a series of artists that we were doing, influential artists under 30 in New York kind of deal. Nothing fancy, but she did quite well, and we've invited her back.
Did she, what type of art did she do?
Oh, expressionism. Her work was very, well, it was very layered. It really kind of explored the truths of society that linger beneath the surface. She's really kind of pieced together all sorts of fascinating imagery that really paralleled and echoed off of the different textures. And you can tell that she's just giving you like nonsense art speak. You're not entirely sure she even knows what she's saying at a certain point. But yeah.
Okay. Did you have any press come by that night? Are there any newspaper articles or any photos from the show maybe?
Press? No, I mean we did.
Sometimes there's a local magazine, that'll come by for
sure, the New Yorker,
First Fridays.
At some point, I believe did a brief summary, but no, print is a dying medium. You can quote me on that.
Sure. I was just wondering, do you keep any photographs of any of the shows for your own?
Photographs of the. We keep a log of what we've shown, sure, but the pieces are the pieces. We do believe in that. We wouldn't undercut her artistic vision by taking photographs of the paintings that she put together and the other pieces.
Sure. I understand. Would you happen to have sales receipts from anything that was sold that night? Any
Yeah, the private sales, they're not really something we care to share.
Well, so this is a missing persons investigation, so I understand.
Yeah, I read the New York Post article. I saw it, and we had a little visit from her father at a certain point. So yes, I'm well aware. A few cops came by here shortly after, about a month or so ago, asked the same questions you did. I gave some names that I had, and most of them are just silent auction types and whatnot. So, yeah.
Can I do a persuade check to try to get some information from her?
What are you looking like? What is it you're trying to get from her?
I would like to be able to see some of the art.
Okay.
Like that's kind of one of my main goals is to kind of see what these looked like.
Okay.
To possibly track down a buyer.
Okay. Persuade at 60. Like, okay. Yeah, sure. Do you flash the badge at any point?
Yeah, I mean, I'll just kind of remind her that this has been elevated from local law enforcement.
Okay, fine. And she'll just wait one moment, and she gets up and she'll leave the room. I'm sure it's around here somewhere, but we're undergoing some renovations, so it might take me a moment to find it. So she gets up and she leaves.
I'm very patient.
She leaves the room, and the door kind of slams a little bit. Meanwhile, cut back to the first floor, I should say, of the McAllister building, where we see agents Chelsea and Vessel. where are you going, and what are you trying to do currently? You know where people live here. Like, you have all of the names of the tenants, and you know which of the apartments are who. Like, you know that first floor, you've got Abigail Wright, you've got T. Manuel, you've got R. Karoon, or all on the ground floor, I should say. First floor, you know Lewis Post and Michelle Vanitz live up here, and then there are 2 empty apartments. And then you know in the second floor, which is the floor immediately underneath the roof, you know that it's just 4 empty apartments.
I think we're looking to this guest gone gay.
You don't have a room number. You don't. He's not any of the names of the tenants. Doesn't show up anywhere in the NYPD or in the FBI records.
But he did say he was up at like the top floor, but he was the night manager.
You sit upstairs, yeah.
Yeah. So maybe we can go back to Wright's apartment, do whatever we want there for a little bit, and then at nighttime try and walk around and see if we can find him.
It's still fairly early in the morning.
Yeah, we still have other people.
Yeah.
If you want to hit them up.
Yeah. Okay. If you want to we'll just keep doing interviews.
Okay. Is there a particular pattern that you want to do, or a person that you want to see?
Maybe we'll just go floor by floor. So isn't our Karoon on the?
Okay. All right. So you go ahead and you go back down to the ground floor then, and you step over the animal poo that's on the stairs, and you go down the hall, and you would know from your notes from the NYPD that this is a person named Roger Karoon. Yeah, what do you want to do? You're out in front of his door.
Do we hear anything?
You listen in. You hear somebody moving around in there. Sounds like there's somebody home. Yeah. I didn't catch what you said, Long.
Oh, I was saying if we have any more on this guy, just his name.
Looks like he's 43, Caucasian. Apparently, he is a science fiction author. Is what they had down for his workplace. For his work, he apparently publishes something called Nightsea, which is a science fiction series through Crescent Publisher. There's an editor by the name of Carmen Wagner that's in this file. And that's all you have on him.
Did we have any more notes on T. Manuel?
Nothing that I said previously. He's young, 26. He's apparently a okay. Let me dig that back up 1 second. That's a different file.
Sorry.
It's all right. Yeah, you've got family connections for him. Looks like he's got a mother named Elaine, father Arthur. They live over in Hempstead, Long Island. He's a painter. That's about it. That's all you got on here.
All right. We'll just knock on Robert's door.
Okay. So let me pull that up.
Roger or Robert?
Roger.
Oh.
Roger.
There you go. So, guy opens the door. 1 sec. Sometimes Foundry is weird with certain mods for me. Okay, guy opens the door. Kind of short. Got a little slate paunch. Shirt, like kind of the sweater doesn't quite match the pants type of thing. He's got these crooked glasses on. Hair's a little disheveled. And he kind of looks at you, and you can tell he's got a very slight kind of southern accent. He's like, can I help y'all?
We'll give him the classic spiel and say, we won't take up too much of your time. Can you help us out?
What's the classic spiel?
Just what we're here for and what's going on.
Hi, we're here with the FBI regarding Miss Wright. We just had a few further questions for you.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Is this gonna take long? I got work. I got stuff to do, got deadlines and such.
Just a couple of minutes.
Yeah, just a few minutes of your time, if that's all right.
Okay. Like y'all like out here or inside?
Whichever you're more comfortable with. If you don't mind if we sat down, that'd be great.
He kind of looks like, yeah, okay, yeah, y'all can come and just, yeah. So he opens the door, lets you inside. It kind of looks like the layout is vaguely similar to Abigail's, but you can look around. It's a fairly, it's kind of a dirty place. It's kind of a shithole. Like you pass by and you can see that you can kind of get the sense that he hasn't really left here in a little while. Dirty plates stacked up in the kitchen, laundry is all over the place. You can see like the sink as you pass by the kitchen area filled with cups and bowls, and it just smells of like stale sweat in here, almost like a teenage boy's apartment.
Ew.
So there's a lot of like half drunk or bottles of liquor kind of laying around here and there. You can see like the furnishings, like like the shelves and the couch and stuff like that. It's all kind of kitschy. You can see that there's like a writing desk that's got this old word processor sitting on top of it, but you don't really see any other writing materials or anything like that. Yeah. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, you guys wander in, and he kind of turns around at a certain point and says, yeah, so he said questions, as you can see, and he kind of just motions over towards his word processor. I got things, I got, when you get the idea in your head, you got to get it down as fast as possible. Y'all know, y'all understand.
Yes, I do.
It's how you work the magic.
Definitely magic. I've, been meaning to read some of your work. I have it on my reading list, but she'll continue
really?
to grab out. Yeah. What's your favorite? Maybe I'll start there.
Well, I prefer the first one. I publish, it's the first book of the Night Sea series and such, First one's always the best. Not that, 2 and 3 weren't that bad, but, there's something.
Your first love, so to say.
Sure. Yeah, you can think of it like that. Yeah.
And then
would either of you have would either of you be like science fiction writers or anything like that?
No, not at all.
Okay.
No, I mean, I'm a computer science major.
You
so
might
maybe
know.
I'm
Yeah,
nerdy.
you might know. Yeah. I figured Derek's character would probably know him, but he's not here, unfortunately. So,
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So what's this about?
So when's the last time you can recall seeing Miss Wright?
Oh. And he kind of just makes like this. He's like, I can't say I really remember when I saw that woman. I mean, everyone here is peaceful with one another. We're all friendly neighbors and such. But I can't really remember specifically when the last time I saw her was. I'm sorry to say.
No minor disputes with like playing music too loud?
No. And you can see he's kind of fidgety and he looks very distracted. Like, no, not really. I can't think of anyone who actually plays music that loud, to be honest.
Were you well acquainted with her?
No, not really. She seemed like a nice, sweet girl, yeah. But, yeah,
What do you think of Manuel next door?
Oh, yeah, he's a fine fella, yeah. He's, very creative. He seems to be very, engaged with the visual mediums and such. I prefer text-based explorations of my art. However, there are other mediums that can be just as suitably explored, and Mr. Manuel does it quite fine.
How long have you lived here?
Me? Oh God, let me see. Let me think about that really. Oh, I think Art Life reached out to me back in 1990. something like that. It was shortly after, I think it was the second, no, it was the third Night Sea book. After one of those two, they reached out and they said, you know what, Roger, believe it was Carmen, Miss Wagner. She's the one in contact. She's my editor. Well, anyway, they just reached out and they said, you know what, we got this wonderful little apartment in New York, this brand. And I said, that just sounds lovely. And it is. He kind of looks around.
Yeah. Is this part of your contract with your editor?
Oh, no.
Okay. What can you tell me about Art Life? How they have been as a company to work for?
I don't work for them. They just own the building.
Okay.
Do they allow animals in here? Does anyone own one?
I don't think so. Maybe. I don't know. There might be. You know what now? No, I don't. I don't got one. Manuel doesn't got one. Abigail didn't have one. I don't know. Maybe someone upstairs does.
Gotcha.
It's not that I'm against the idea of, animals as pets. They are wonderful companions and can do all sorts of fascinating things for one's creative mind, allowing you to offset the stressors of everyday life. But I just don't know if I can handle that kind of responsibility.
Especially with the inspiration striking you as it can do. It can cause tunnel vision.
Indeed it can. Indeed it can.
What can you tell me about the managers of the complex?
What do you mean? I don't know anything about the company. Sorry
have you heard of or encountered the night manager,
Sure.
Castaigne?
Sure.
Where is he? Does he live here at the complex?
Lives upstairs.
Which apartment?
6. It's on 6 somewhere. No, that's not right. 4? I cannot remember. I am so sorry.
Do you know his first name?
I can't say I do. No, I don't. He's kind of... He doesn't really talk much to people. He's a little... he keeps to himself as far as I know.
What's he look like?
You ever seen that physicist fella from with the big hair and whatnot? You know what I'm talking about. Einstein?
Okay.
Looks a little like Einstein, yeah.
Okay. So a white gentleman with curly white hair.
Curly?
Or not curly, but
Didn't you just say you were a computer science major? Einstein did not have curly hair. Let me see that badge again. No, just kidding. But yeah, he's like, anyway, I really need to get back to my work. And you see him, he's just kind of looking over towards the word processor. I really need to get back to my work, please.
And then before that happens, though, I would have also, given Vessel like another, note, just
you're just
creep
writing
out the
notes.
room. Yeah. Well,
that's exactly what I would like to do right now is get back to my writing. Hard to do
while I'm talking to him, to have him observe the apartment. I'm hoping
Are you
that
metagaming here with because he's got high alertness or something, or is it?
Came in and it was a shithole.
Well, no, I'm thinking, I'm the talker.
Okay.
So why wouldn't my partner?
All right.
Long notices how old the spaghetti is in the bowl on the counter, based on the mold.
Did I notice anything out of the ordinary besides how dirty this place was?
Roll a search.
Oh.
You have a reroll.
You
just
do
saying.
have a reroll, yes. You can reroll.
Crit fail. Oh, I'll use a free reroll. Why not?
Yes, thank you.
He splashes
Captain
old
Karai.
spaghetti sauce into his eyes. Goes blind.
Okay.
Success this time?
All right. Okay, so you're just sort of meandering around. How how extensive would you say your searching is right now? Like, are you just sort of like casually looking around,
Yeah,
keeping
just
it
surface
cool,
level.
or are
I'm
you
not
just being
digging-
invasive and don't give a shit?
I'll kick off like maybe surface level items, not too deep.
Okay. So yeah, you looking around, and you notice like strangest thing. There's like a bunch of hairs that have been piled up in a weird way right by the door, like by the frame. And see, now the southern is kind of in my voice, and it's hard to get out now. And then,
Can't stop.
and then over by the window, kind of the same thing. It's just sort of there. It's almost like he's putting down hairs to see if anyone's like coming in or out, type of thing. You start poking around in the kitchen a little bit. Every now and then he kind of looks over towards you, but as he does, like, Chelsea asks a question or something,
Like about his writing.
and he just kind of turns
Redirect.
back, and he's just like, "Oh yeah, in chapter 17, I thought it would be intelligent to go." Yeah, you look around, and yeah, you start going through some of like the trash and things like that that's in the kitchen. You can see that it's kind of just been sprawling out, like growing the trash in some way. You open up the refrigerator really briefly, just kind of take a peek inside, and you notice something a little out of the ordinary. That the expiration dates on the food are all from March. And again, it's August right now. But none of the food looks bad. Roll sanity.
I failed.
Take 1 point of sanity damage from the unnatural.
This man's discovered a way to keep food fresh eternally.
This doesn't make any sense.
That or art life paths.
Thank you, Karayan. Appreciate those extra rerolls. Very nice. So yeah, you see, yeah, there's food in here. You know, it's a little disorganized, but you can tell that like it's just a couple.
I think that's
months
from our
old.
chaos. It's 5.
Oh yeah, I don't know if you saw the new. Wait, are you asking for a complication right now? Is that what you're doing?
No,
Karayan?
I'm just.
No, it's Captain
Just
Grind doing. I still have
clarifying.
one. Yeah, I already dropped mine actually earlier, but that's fine. Yes,
No,
it
I
is.
thought
Sorry,
it
we're
was
just
the
automatically
other-
assuming. Sorry, Karai. Like, are you trying to like add a complication, or are you throwing them rerolls? Sorry, should have asked. You're just always so kind. You know, like you're the angel on this shoulder, and then Ashley's the devil on the other.
Yeah, but
when you
I'm his
usually play.
nemesis. So I like how I'm like, is he here to hurt me?
Okay, so yeah, what do you do with this? So like, yeah, you just feel like kind of a little like, what the?
I'm comfortable with it. I'm gonna hurry.
No, you're
Chelsea
you're
out.
not comfortable with it. That's you failed to say.
Yeah, I said I'm uncomfortable.
Okay, all right.
So I'm gonna hurry Chelsea out. I think we're done here. I don't want to ask him anymore.
Okay.
All right, well, here's my card. If you happen to remember anything weird, maybe that you heard maybe overnight, or if you remember seeing her leave rushed or something, you know, please just, you know, contact me.
Okay. And so like you slam the door on the refrigerator, you see like, you know, some kind of big old I don't know, like some kind of big, was a carton of milk or something, or orange juice or something. It's a big old carton of like nature's own orange juice or whatever, and it's got like March 3rd on it or whatever, and it kind of tips a little bit and spills out, and you slam the door, and then the two of you hurry out. Cut the scene, and we see back in the gallery of Mercury Gallery, we see the woman come back in. You never asked her name either, but
I was going to poke around while she was gone.
Okay. All right. But yeah, what are you poking around? Like, what are you looking for?
Just being nosy.
Okay.
Just what's out. And I was also kind of looking to see if I got like a name of her, like any mail that's out, and just being nosy, really, like anything that's out. Like, no, I'm not
Okay.
going to like rifle through stuff or anything, but just, you know.
You see a ton of like like cold letters, like soliciting, like like our art is so great and perfect for your gallery. Like we totally want it. And like that's like half of what's on her desk, and it's just ridiculous. You see some other looks like invoices for the construction as well, timetables. You see a handful of like post-it notes with names to contractors. Like everything seems to sort of check out. There's a couple plants that haven't really been like. They look like they're dead. Like they've not quite survived, and a couple filing cabinets where you kind of go through them and you see some quick files, old shows and stuff like that. You do come across the file for T. Manuel. In fact, like you see a note on him, like that name just immediately you catch it.
I will take a peek.
And yeah, you just go through and like there's just a quick note. It's a little outdated, but like there's just sort of kind of a note, like kind of up and comer question mark type of thing, but doesn't seem to have been updated anytime recently. Like it's just sort of looks like she's like they just keep track of some of the artists that are in the area.
Okay. Is there a file for Abigail or Laura?
Yeah. Yeah, you go through it, and it just sort of kind of talks about the same thing. You can see that it just has contact information, preferred medium that she works with, and there's an array of mediums for her. Manuel mentions paint, and yeah, nothing out of the ordinary.
Okay. So am I able to ascertain her name from any of the
Sure.
correspondence?
Sure, you can get her name. If I can find where I put it, because I have way too many things up right now.
That's gonna be super creepy if you just addressed her by name and she hasn't given it to you.
Amber Otomesco. So her name's Amber. And door opens up as you're poking around through some things, and you can see she's like drinking from this Nature's Own orange juice carton. And she kind of spills a little as she sees you, like, excuse me? Can I leave you in my office without you poking around and everything? Don't you need a warrant for that or something?
And at this point, I'm going to say I was just looking around desk stuff. Or did she catch me with my hand in the filing cabinet?
Doesn't matter. No matter what you're doing. Like, whether it's like you're just... Like,
if I'm poking around the stuff on the desk, I'm just going to say, like, this is just out in the open, you know?
Okay. I guess privacy just isn't something we're entitled to anymore in this country. Fine. So...
Well, you know, people missing and all. We do everything we can.
And she slides over to you a couple like crude photocopies of what looks like all of the pieces Abigail had shown.
Okay.
And you go through them, and like she's not wrong. They're just like a series of sort of abstract. It's like an abstract collection. It just looks like she's using a variety of kind of found mediums and materials and stuff. None of it looks familiar.
Okay. Thank you for these photocopies. Would I be able to get any buyer information?
You go, like buyer information. Yeah, next to all of them, you can see like she's written down the names of buyers and stuff like that as well. Perfect. Back in the apartment of Abigail Wright, go ahead. Their Agent Album, roll a sanity test as you're just sitting around and you've got this like that you cannot shake this feeling of like someone is watching you. And
okay, 54 success.
And as you like you're carving out another piece, you kind of look around, and you swear you hear something, from the other room. And you start wandering.
The room that Agent Fawn was singing in the other night?
The Abigail Wright's apartment. Oh, yeah. Sorry, yeah. So it's when I say room, it's kind of a tight floor plan, but it's sort of like you just hear something.
Okay.
And you wander in the other room, and you can see that on the ground there is a big pool of orange liquid.
Does it have a certain scent?
Yeah, you lean down, you sniff it. Smells like orange juice.
I'm training chemistry. I waft. You never smell directly.
Sorry, you waft. You waft it in, and it wafts like orange juice.
Meta, that's pretty creepy. But
right?
Album is just gonna be like, is there a carton anywhere?
There is no carton anywhere, in fact.
That's even more creepy.
He's
than
gonna
the
go over
meta.
to the. Yeah, true. He's gonna go over
conspiracy
to the
theorist.
refrigerator and open the fridge and see if there's an orange juice carton in it.
Yeah, you go into the refrigerator, you open it up, and you can see that there's some food in here. It looks like all of it seems good.
What's the date?
It looks like March.
Shit. I'm very puzzled. What food items? What's something easy I could like look at and open up and also smell?
Some bread, loaves of bread.
Okay, yeah, like I'll just stick
In the
my hand in
fridge?
and see if it's man, so it doesn't get mold.
Yeah,
I do that.
of course.
It's not
So
weird.
do we.
Don't judge.
Yeah.
It,
I eat
We
my
do it
bread
too.
too fast. I'm like,
okay.
So it's still like soft and everything.
So yeah, you open up the bread and it looks good. I mean, the date on it's like March 3rd, and this stuff is 5 months old.
Yeah. So the paranoia to this Addling album, he's just gonna start like checking every single possible, like in cupboards where someone could like curl up
Okay.
in a ball. He's gonna check in vents.
Okay.
And just kind of tearing the apartment apart, so to speak.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a sanity test. Something separate from the previous one.
45. That's a
You are
success.
crushing your sanity rolls here. Yeah.
I need to.
Yes. Okay.
Something's watching me and it likes orange juice.
Yeah, you're going around and around, and yeah, you're looking for any signs of where somebody could have hidden. Is that what you're saying? Like somebody's hidden, that kind of thing?
Yeah, if I feel like I'm being watched and then there's also a pool of orange juice, I'm like looking for a demonic toddler, essentially.
Yeah, you you open the doors to cabinets that haven't already been like glued shut with epoxy and whatnot, and yeah, there's nothing. No, it doesn't look like there's anything specifically in here. You open up like one cabinet. Looks like it was like a first aid cabinet. There's like band-aids and gauze and whatnot, and you open up another. It looks like there's just some cleaning supplies, but no demonic children, unfortunately.
yet.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
Back at the gallery for the Mercury, or the Mercury Gallery. I don't know. I can't say that properly.
That's where I am.
Yeah.
I'm in the place with the woman.
So she's looking up at you. Is there anything else? I have a lot of work to do.
I can't. I'm gonna give her my card and just say, our involvement in this investigation is early on, so I may call on you again. But you've been gracious in providing me with these photocopies and information on the sellers. I think that's all I have for you for now, but I may be in touch.
I look forward to it. Thank you. You can show yourself out, I assume.
Yes,
assume
I
FBI agents know how
can
to
do.
find the exit.
People of the East Coast are just so
Yes.
wonderful.
And you've gone through all of my other things. I just assume that, okay, that's fine. Thank you. I have to put my desk back in order now. Good day.
Enjoy.
So,
And one thing that I would have done while she was gone is if I had like a bottle of water, I would have like put some water in her plants.
okay. You put
Just
water
saying.
in her plants. Okay.
Put water in her plants.
Okay.
Horticulture is important.
Exactly.
So you start wandering back. Meanwhile, we're still on the first floor with this is Chelsea and this is Vessel. What do you two want to do?
What do you want to do, Vessel? You want to keep going up?
First, I want to take a quick phone or like a page. Can I contact Detective Graham like on a payphone or something outside?
Okay. Sure. We'll say that down the street by the deli, the delicatessen, there was a payphone.
Yeah, I want to get him on the line or in contact with me, and I want him to get a search warrant for T. Manuel's apartment.
Okay. I will say just so you know, like Delta Green, it depends on how much you want to like maintain your cover. Delta Green can do whatever the hell it wants, basically, right? But like, if you're trying to maintain like the cover of like FBI authority and whatnot, then yeah, you would concern yourself with a search warrant. Like if you didn't concern yourself with a search warrant, like Delta Green doesn't care. Like Delta Green will do whatever they need to do. Like,
Right.
There's no
I think
laws.
maybe this early we'll continue to like try and like
Okay.
keep up the front.
What's your bureaucracy?
10.
10.
Mine's 50.
Okay. We'll say.
Maybe I have you do that then.
Okay. Yeah. Like if you the two of you walk down the street, you get on the phone, you get Graham, like, hey, search warrant. Yeah. It's a particular reason.
We found listening equipment leading, a microphone leading towards her apartment that led to his.
Are you
And
serious?
he has, and there's lots of audio equipment.
You hear him kind of flipping through papers and stuff. Why the hell was in the? I don't have that in the file yet. I did. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It was
yeah.
hidden particularly well, so.
I know, but I mean, my guys went through it. Your guys went through it. It's like I guess there's times to charm.
I honestly wouldn't have found it if I didn't trip right over it, so.
Okay. I mean, that's very generous of you to say, but I'm gonna have these guys. I'm gonna have their asses. Is what I'm saying. But no. Yeah. I'll. Okay. Yeah. I'll get going on this. I'll get going on this. And get it done as fast as I can.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. So you guys are wandering back to the apartment. Where are you going next?
We're going to the first floor, which is another floor up.
Okay.
Or, yeah.
Done. There are two people up here. There is a man by the name of Lewis Post, and there's a woman by the name of Michelle Van Fitz.
Let's do Lewis Post first, because Van Fitz does not like authority.
Okay. So you go over to Lewis's apartment. Let me give you. See if this shows. Did that show to you guys? There it is. All right. A little bit of a lag on it. Sorry. So you guys knock on the door. Anything like that? Or are you doing something special? Just busting it in, pointing guns.
We got you down.
No, I think
Okay.
if he's cool with it, we'll probably just do what we've been doing. Like
Okay.
good cop, bad cop kind of thing.
Is that what you haven't been doing?
No,
Good
it's
cop,
top
bad
good
cop.
cops.
There's been no
No,
bad cop, whatever.
It's not so
Chatty
much like
cop,
bad
nosy cop.
cop.
You don't
Yeah,
know.
exactly.
This is a we're not actually members of a secret agency group that is trying to prevent the spread of unnatural. We're just really polite door-to-door book salesman. That's all we are.
Yeah, I'm here to peddle that guy's book.
You knock on the door.
Encyclopedias.
You knock on the door. This guy opens it.
Killed, Melissa.
You got it in the notes. He's 27. It says he's from the notes that you have. He's apparently some kind of like works in comics. And so when he opens the door, you can see he's got this kind of button-down short sleeve shirt. He's got khakis on. His fingers are covered in ink. You can see like they're just covered in ink. His hair is kind of in a swoop. But he's not a bad-looking guy. And he just kind of looks up and he's like, "Yes, can I help you? Is this something?"
We're here to inquire a little bit further into anything regarding your downstairs neighbor, Mrs. Wright.
Okay.
Or Ms. Wright?
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Right. All right. And he kind of looks around a little bit. Yeah. Come on in. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. No problem. So, you're like law enforcement or something, right? Or-
Yeah, and then I'll flash my FBI badge.
Okay, I'm just going to assume that we're not used to being cops and FBI, so we forget to do that kind of stuff. But yeah, he's like, yeah. So, what's up? What's going on?
What would you do to describe your relationship with Miss Wright?
We didn't have one. We didn't really see each other, to be honest. I know she's missing, and the cops were here, asking us all questions and whatnot. But but yeah, we really didn't see each other. I know she's in apartment below, but like, yeah, no. She seemed nice, you know, the times I've met her and everything. You know, she's
Yeah.
I think talented and everything. But yeah, yeah.
No noise complaints that you had.
No, not at all. No, no, can't say.
What can you tell me a little bit about the property? How long have you lived here?
Me. Oh God, how long have I lived here? I guess I not 2 years, maybe 93. I think I moved in. It's the only place I've lived in New York, you know, or in Manhattan, I should say. Yeah, the only place. I'm from California.
Okay.
Yeah. You know,
How'd
came to New
you-
York to make it big as a comic illustrator? You know.
That's awesome. Did
Yeah, it is. It's great. Yeah.
you just stumble upon this apartment complex, or were you reached out to?
Yeah. This place kind of, you know, it's an artists co-op and everything.
Mhm.
You know, so like it's just artists here, and you know, I guess the company, you know, art life. Yeah, they just kind of, you know, put us all here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So while she's asking, I'll search the room.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a search.
I took a pass.
Very nice. Okay, so yeah, you're wandering about, and similarly, also kind of a shithole. You can see that it is perhaps even worse than the last apartment you came from. It's grease-stained pizza boxes all over the place, paint containers, dirty clothing. You can see that the garbage has basically started to spread to cover almost the entirety of the kitchen floor. It's got a view of the street. You can tell just from the angle that he's literally right above Wright's apartment. You do find one kind of interesting thing. He's got, like, tucked underneath his bed, he's got this fairly large Baroque mirror that's concealed right underneath. It almost takes up the entirety of the bed. It's as tall as a person, basically. It would, like, you see it when you look down. You can see the basic framework of it. Yeah. Do you have? I know the answer to this is no. But do you have any art skills?
No.
Okay, then yeah, you wouldn't be able to identify it more than that. But yeah, you see that down there. On a whim, you probably just peek into the refrigerator, and he looks over. He's kind of distracted for a second. He's like, "Did you guys like want something to eat or something? You know, like, we could make, you know, sandwiches."
Yeah, just a snack or a quick drink.
So you open up, by the way, and you see that he's like starting to make sandwiches with like he's got like dirty plates, and he's like wiping it off here and there, and he's like peanut butter and jelly, okay, and everything, and he pulls out like this bread jar, jelly, and stuff like that, and you get a quick glance. You're very high alertness. You can see same dates. These things are like 5 months old.
Are they like the exact same expiration date, like March 30th?
Not every item is the exact same, but they're all like expired basically 5 months ago. You don't notice any of this. He notices.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're kind of more doing the chattiness.
Hey, Sonny, what day is it to you?
I don't know. To be honest, I just kind of do my work, you know. It's kind of embarrassing. I just yeah, you know.
You take out the trash at all?
Is Crunchy okay? I think is Crunchy okay?
Oh yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, the apartment's kind of dirty. You're right. I probably should clean it up. I probably should. Yeah.
When do you normally go to work?
Oh, I work here. I work from home.
How do you get your assignments, or are you creating your own piece of work?
Oh, Messenger. I got an agent.
Who's your agent?
Mike Sievers. Why is it Crunchy? Great question.
I'm assuming crunchy peanut butter,
That's
but
what
I
I
could
was
be wrong.
talking about, yeah.
Okay. Oh God. Can I do like? Does he look, like he's been, like he's well, or he's lying to me?
You can tell he looks.
Or
What's your human int? It's pretty good, right? 50.
50.
You can tell he doesn't look like he's lying to you. He looks embarrassed though. Like he sees.
Oh no.
He sees you guys like stepping over trash and like kicking a pizza box to the side. He looks just like totally embarrassed, and you can tell that you kind of get the sense that he's kind of an antisocial type, and so this is sort of awkward for him. But he's trying to be super polite and everything. It's like yeah, really sorry about the mess. It's just a little embarrassing. Sorry. Anyway.
Do I see anything that I would consider like paranormal?
No. It's
Okay.
a little on the nose.
I mean, like, how would I, like, does he seem like he's interested in anything like paranormal? Like,
you wouldn't get that from a human int. Like that's.
No, I meant like maybe doing like an occult role. Like, does he have like books on his shelf that are like weird, or does he have like?
No, I mean you can see. He's got like his own little like drawing desk set up where it looks like he's doing some stuff. He's got some inks and some paints.
Do his drawings look like anything that like would possibly be like alarming, or are they just
like most of the stuff that he has out is just like empty paper. Like doesn't look like there's anything he's actively drawing that you guys interrupted.
But he's covered in ink.
Yeah.
Could you show me something that you've been working on? I've never really been artistic, but I love reading comics.
Okay. Yeah. And he's got like a knife with like peanut butter on it, and he's got like a jar of jelly, and he just here, and he just hands it over to Vessel, and he like wanders, and he comes back, and like you can see he's got like a comic. Looks like just a comic, some kind of like superhero type thing, and he's like, yeah. I see. I did this, and he just starts flipping through it. He's like, see, yeah, and like, yeah. I mean, I don't do the like the outline. I do the coloring for this one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and you can see like there's my name and everything, and he's like really proud of it. Like he's got his name on the inside cover. Yeah. Like the it's a tough industry though. It's tough.
Yeah.
Anyway, God, and he's like, I got peanut butter all over. Oh, gee. Okay, and he goes back and he kind of puts it, like slides it onto his desk again. So yeah, you said you were looking for Abigail or something.
Yeah, I was just, if you think of anything else that you might remember how she was acting before the last time you've seen her, or shady characters lurking in the area.
No. I mean, she did get mugged that one time, I think I heard.
Yeah.
But, that was a long time ago. That was like a year ago or something.
Yeah.
I don't really know.
What can you tell me about your downstairs neighbors? Like Mr. Manuel.
He seems like a real nice guy. He's super talented. He's a painter. Different mediums, right? I do the inks and everything.
Mm-hmm.
He does the paints and everything. But yeah, I mean, like you can appreciate it, right? He's a good guy. He's always walking around in any shoes on though. I'm not sure if that's a way to get to get something. Yeah, I did. He talks about.
Do you guys speak often?
No, but we're on, speaking terms when we, see each other by the mailbox and whatnot. You know how it
Gotcha.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, we collected mail and everything. And then
Mr.
Roger, yeah, Roger. He's a little older, so like, we don't. And he's a writer. I think I haven't read any of his books, to be honest. At science, I like reading, but I just prefer when there's pictures. You know what I mean? Like it just makes it's just so much faster and it's easier to see.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't read it. He keeps saying, I should come with him to like one of the, conventions or things that he goes to. Good exposure for my work and whatnot. But I don't know, maybe some other time, maybe, I've got other things.
Yeah.
And he takes a big bite out of like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. You guys eating?
No.
He made you
Yeah, I
sandwiches.
finished making my sandwich.
Okay, you finish it. Okay.
I like to think Vessel just takes mine and slaps it on top of his, and he's doing a double-double.
If you're not eating it, he's going to look at it like, is there something wrong with it? Or,
I'm on a diet.
I can, oh, okay, yeah. So, sorry, yeah.
No, you're
sorry.
okay.
No, I've got something else. And he's like, he goes back over, opens the fridge. You hear him pulling out drawers, and he brings over.
Do you have a bottle of water? Or a cup of water, or
yeah, and he like hands you an orange, and then he like goes over and he gets like he's like looking around in the sink, and he pulls a glass out, and he just does the classic,
yeah,
and then he puts the tap on, and he brings it over to you. Yeah, there, it's fruit's good for you on a diet, right?
Yeah. No, I appreciate this.
Over in Abigail Wright's apartment, as you are carving through some other item, go ahead and roll a search roll. And as you're doing so, you hear the sound of a faucet going.
Can I use my reroll? I failed the first one.
Of course, yeah, go ahead.
Not much better.
Unfortunately not. But you hear the sound of a faucet going. And you look around, and you realize it's the tub. You wander over the tub, and you can see that
is it orange juice?
No, but it is kind of like stuffed up. Like you can see, like it's
the drain.
Yeah, the drain's kind of stuffed up in it.
But I can see
the water's coming out, water's rising, and there's like some kind of something stuck in the drain.
Okay. Before it gets too deep, since I have a glove on, I'll try and unclog the drain and see what's plugging it up.
Yeah. So you go ahead and you reach down, you pull it out, and it's kind of almost falling apart in your hands, and you realize like it's like some kind of flimsy like paper cloth of some kind. You start unfurling it a bit. Hang on one sec. And as you do, you realize it kind of unrolls and unwraps. You thought at first maybe it was just like toilet paper or something that fell in, but as you go through it some more, you realize like that's not it. It's a little too thick. It's not falling apart as easily as you thought it would. It's more kind of like
parchment.
No, you realize it's like gauze, actually.
Oh,
like this gauze. Over in the gallery, the Mercury Gallery, as you're wandering out, Fawn, you you realize after a moment you think you're looking left, you're looking right, you're like, what the hell were those stairs? And then you make a left, and you're like wandering down, and you're like, there's kind of like a dead end. There's like suddenly a brick wall in front of you. You turn around, you go the other way, make a right this time, open a door, go through it, and you realize like you look at the floor is completely different than what you were just like. There was carpet a second ago, and now you're on some kind of crappy it's almost like a subfloor, like concrete. It's a little chunky here and there. The colors of the walls are a little different, and there's a few doors on the sides here and there, and like you don't really remember coming this way. You hear sounds in the distance, but you don't quite hear like saws. You don't hear the sounds of hammering or screwdrivers, or all that kind of fades away, but you do hear something. You hear like this, you can't quite place it. It sounds almost like a ice cream truck, kind of just playing like this little ding 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 ding, and it just kind of loops around. And you notice ahead of you, you take a few steps, and you realize after, like, your foot is sort of stuck. So you're trying to pick your foot up, and then you try to pick the other foot up, and you look down, and you realize that the floor that you're in like that is kind of covered in this liquidy orange epoxy of some kind that has hardened around the soles of your feet or your shoes, and you're just like maybe 2-3 feet away from what at first you thought was just kind of like a plastic tarp that you saw hung up in all sorts of different places to protect like certain rooms. And you realize as you're looking, it's just these long, thick drapes of gauze, like just these strings blocking the doorway forward. You see this shadow that starts to move about in the beyond it in some way. It's just kind of sort of moving here and there, kind of moving kind of jerkily. You hear like almost what sounds like machinery, like gears, but you still hear that ding 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 ding, almost like a waltzy sound to it, but it's like a xylophone playing. You see that this figure, it's fairly small, it comes up, and it's just the shadow that you see through the gauze, and it's moving jerkily, shifting. Roll a sand test.
Oh dear. I'm gonna use a reroll.
Okay.
And fail.
Okay. Go ahead. Roll a d4. Sorry, I have too many things up.
3.
Take 3 points of sanity damage as you watch as a hand reaches out and you hear like a click, 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 tick, 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 click, tick, tick, and slides into the side of the gauze curtains. And as it's pulling to the side, you hear the sounds of that music getting louder and louder. And as it does, all of a sudden the lights kind of go out in the room you're in. They flicker. And when you look up, you can see there's this heavy set Italian New Yorkan construction worker with a reflective orange vest. He's got a helmet in his hand. He's holding open this plastic tarp and he's looking at you, and you're kind of cowering in the middle of the hallway, and you look down and you're on what just looks like cardboard that's been laid out to protect the floor, and you're standing right in front of the bathroom, and he just kind of looks down at you. He's like, you all right? And that's where we're going to go ahead and stop for this week.
Oh no. Oh, there's orange juice everywhere.
You guys have no idea. My brain is spinning.
Clearly, this is a ghost that died from died of scurvy or something. It's just got an obsession with the orange juice.
All right. So that is it. Let's see. Who still got rerolls for next week?
I didn't use any of them.
You didn't use any of your rerolls?
No.
Okay. So you got... And then Long, I think you got one left, right?
I used it.
Oh, okay. Never mind. All right, so Ash is the only one with rerolls. Okay,
I've
cool.
got one. If we had 2, I've got 1 left.
Okay. And just remember, you can only use them once per scene. And so once you use them in a scene, until that scene is like, it's like until you leave that location and the situation drastically changes, you can't reuse it. So like,
Yeah.
you know, that kind of thing. Okay, so let's see. Where are we going? Where are we playing games? So tomorrow, if you want to watch more of us, tomorrow, Melissa and I are going to be over on Free League Publishing channel on Twitch. So twitch.tv/Free League Publishing. You can watch, do I have something set up for that? Let me see. I do not. Never mind. But you can find us over there. I think we're playing at like 1 Central. Sounds about right. Where you can find us considering our Forbidden Lands game. Sunday night over on Steam Steel Murder. So twitch.tv/Steam Steel Murder. You can find myself and a few others as we're playing Shadowrun using a PBTA system. So PBTA style Shadowrun game. It's really fun. And then on Monday, we'll be over on Free League Publishing channel again. Let me see if I have this set up. I do. Where we're going to be playing Things from the Flood some more. And as for this game, Delta Green will be back in a week. I think that's the plan. So follow me on Twitter. If something changes, I'll post it up on Twitter. But the plan is to try to get through this first opening chapter, this little investigation, within, just kind of going Friday to Friday, and then we'll take a break before we do the second chapter. So that's the plan. Thank you for those of you who hung out tonight. Thank you for those of you who are watching later on BOD or who are watching on YouTube. We definitely appreciate that.
Thanks for the bits and the subs.
Yeah, Captain Karian, thank you for the bits. Barkrocks, thank you for the sub. If anybody else did stuff, I'm sorry if I missed it. A lot of stuff going on my screen. I think I honestly think that this is designed to have the GM, the handler, whatever, go insane. I actually genuinely think that. I think it's just a little thing that they're doing. So
social psychology experiment.
Yeah.
I was going to say it's a fun experiment.
Right. So we're going to go ahead and raid. If you want to hang out with us, we're going to raid our friends over at the Defenders of Cobalt. We play a lot of games with them. They play a lot of games with us, etc., etc. I think they're playing some basic fantasy tonight. So if you want to hang out for a moment, I'm going to throw us on an end screen if I can find them. Are they even up? Why don't I see them?
They are.
Okay. So I'm going to go give them a raid. But the rest of you have a great night. And we'll catch you next time as a raid has begun.
Bye.